MD Car Doctor here. I just wanted to talk about two things today. Why it's important to maintenance your car and to put a small investment into it, whether it's detailing, whether it's getting a regular car wash. And also I wanted to talk about the products that are used when doing this. When it comes to cars, if you've ever seen a car in a storage area that's been sitting for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, just within about a half a year to a year, you can start to see the effects of what happens when you're not maintaining your car. Now, you can see new cars on the road that are only 5 years old, but they have scratches, dings, rust, on usually the wheels, right around the wheels where dirt and corrosive materials like salt, when they put that on the road for ice and things, that is usually the area that is corroding and has rust right around the wheels. When it comes to 5-year-old cars that you see scratches, dings, rust marks, and then you see on the other hand a 50-year-old car, an old restored or even a mint condition original paint Mustang, or an old convertible, an old fastback, whether it's a Mustang 1969 or a Dodge Challenger, the original. Usually there are people who have the ability to hold the value in their car. And these people usually wash their cars on a regular basis. They usually, protect their paint in some way. And if there is damage, if there are nicks and paint chips, usually they fix them before they turn into a rust problem. Now, if you were to leave your car just in a storage area for about a year, you would see a big effect on just the elements of leaving it without you doing anything. You'd start to see rubber rot on your tires. There'd be many cracks. Dust would accumulate, and when there's dust, it holds moisture. And if there's any cracks or scratches, the moisture is going to slowly get in to the paint and usually into the metal and start to rust. The difference between a good-looking car that has held its value over the years and one that is just losing its value, doesn't have that luster, has rust marks or ding marks. The difference between that is just a small investment, and that investment can make all the difference in the world. Basically, a small investment like a detail per year, or some people choose to do it 2 or 3 times a year depending on where you live. If you live in harsher conditions up north to where there's a lot more snow, they're putting down salt, you'll probably want to get your car washed regularly, and you also want to have the paint protected in some way. And if there is damage, you want to recondition it in order to hold its value, because in the long run this is going to save you money. Otherwise you're losing the value in your car. The other side is why I use eco-friendly products. It's something that I believe in, to use products that don't really have a big influence on what's happening after this product gets washed off into the dirt and it goes down and collects with the rest of the rainwater and goes back into the sewer. It has to recirculate somehow. Now, I'm just one person, one business, but when it comes to, let's say, a small portion of the people in the U.S., out of the 300 and some million people living in the U.S., if only 20 million, and that's a small percentage, a lot of us use cars to commute, to work, to get groceries, to run errands, to go on vacations, to travel. It's the main travel in the U.S. In other countries, Europe and Britain, they have a lot more buses, a lot more trains. But here, a small percentage would be about 20 million people, and if they were to use about a gallon of, car wash soap, brake dust cleaner, and that runs off, that's 20 million gallons going back into the system, and I think that's a kind of a big effect on the ecosystem. But other than that, just being around the chemicals is, you want to cut out as many chemicals as you can, as many non-natural toxins as you can, just for your health. A lot of people, especially in the U.S., are becoming a little bit more conscious of this. But I just wanted to give my reason and my thoughts on why eco-friendly, why it's important to maintain your car. This is MD Car Doctor, and thanks again for stopping in and listening. I hope you learned something today.